Every so often, we all take a trip down memory lane. Just east of the southern tier, down Route 17B, you'll find a select few reveling in the past still fresh in their minds.
It was just a really wonderful time to have been alive.
50 years ago.
When we were here, and we were in our 20s, we thought we were at the cusp of changing the world.
No one expected what would happen when dozens of artists gathered on a farm in Bethel for Woodstock 1969, including Oneonta native Jim Lewis.
I hitchhiked all the way down to the concert. Luckily got a ride most of the way with two guys that came all the way from California.
Letting nothing get in his way.
The car that I was in broke down just before Monticello, so we walked that evening as far as White Lake, and I spread out my sleeping bag on the porch of the White Lake post office and tried to get some rest. Next morning I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and started the trek in.
Walking into what would become 3 days that changed his and more than 300,000 other lives.
The groups were sort of like our heroes. You know, all these people who played were our heroes.
Equally mind-blowing as the music was the fact that, you know, the peace and the atmosphere and the attitudes of the people here.
It was like a war zone. People were just coming out like muddy and drenched and with smiles on their face. Like nobody was like angry or upset or anything. Everybody was happy.
For us, we were having such a great time. Yes, we were cold. Yes, we were wet. Yes, we were hungry. But it was nonstop. It was like watching your Greek gods and goddesses rock stars.
Everyone was just totally drenched. We just got 100% wet. And I've always told my kids, once you're 100% wet, it doesn't really matter anymore. You don't care.
Experiences that would shape a generation.
I can't think of the 60s without thinking of this place pretty much summing it up.
But as time moves on, memories fade. And for some like Lewis, these grounds mean more than words can express.
The spirit that just sort of like encompassed the whole festival site was extraordinary, and you can't ever duplicate it.
A reason many have never returned to the original site.
So I haven't been back here in 50 years.
Until now.
This is the first time I've been back. And part of that is because they say you can't go home again. And I'm getting a little emotional. A little emotional. It was a big part of my life.
With nostalgia fresh in the mind, it can be easy to get lost in the past.
To be here at 21 and what it's like to be here as a senior citizen, it's a long, strange trip.
But this generation is still looking forward, wanting to make a difference.
I think the best takeaway is the peace and love attitude of the time. It's really missing today.
The next generation has to carry on and have their own things that they absolutely are passionate about, including their music.
It was 3 days that changed generations to come. The golden anniversary kicks off on August 15th. Jackie Prager, 12 News.